Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Of course, it's the dreaded international break. So I just, with everything going in the media, especially the Ben White situation, I just want to sit down and make a video on my thoughts on international break and especially Arsenal, and the question being, should Arsenal actually withdraw some of the players out of the international games? Now, obviously, we have to start with the main story that's been here all weekend. I'll be honest, I really didn't pay too much attention to that because I think personally for me it's just being blown out way out of proportion, and that's of course Ben White refusing to play for England, well, rejecting his England call up. Now, I think this has just been blown out way out of proportion than it needs to be. I mean, this whole week, all I'm saying is Ben White, Ben White. Ben White's this, Ben White that, and to be honest, I really don't care what people say, because for me as an Arsenal fan, I literally couldn't care less what Ben White decides to do with his international career. For me, it's always been club before country. I think a lot of fans would agree. Maybe some fans differ, but for me, it's always Arsenal first. Now, for me, I'm happy if Ben White decides to stay at Arsenal whilst doing the international break, because I'd rather him just not get injured. For me, it's always been, I think we should allow a player to do what he wants. If he doesn't want to play for his national team, he shouldn't play for his national team. And I think the worrying thing about this situation, what made it worse, is Gareth Southgate coming out saying nothing has happened, essentially him throwing Ben White out under the bus. Now, when he's come out and said that nothing's happened, when clearly something did happen with, of course, it's the assistant manager, I don't know what his name is, something Holland, of course it's going to make Ben White look like the bad guy. And I get it, as the manager, you want to protect the rest of the team, but I think you also have a duty to protect your players as well. And I think all he's done is just create this anger mob towards Ben White, where I think fans, media, pundit are just now attacking Ben White. Some of them are claiming that he should never play for England ever again. I think that's a bit of an overreaction, but I stand with Ben White. Like, as an Arsenal fan, I hope that none of our players get injured. Now, if that means that they don't play for the national team, then so be it. Like, I really couldn't care less. But I think another good reason why Ben White doesn't play for England is because I believe he is nursing an injury. I think only recently, I think after the New Year's, you saw him becoming a better player, and I think it's because he was nursing an injury. You see he was playing a lot more like the Ben White of last season, and I just don't get this anger for me. I think England don't even need Ben White. It's not like Ben White will be this brilliant player where he's going to change everything. I think England, there's enough quality where they can do without Ben White. You still go Trent, you still go Kyle Walker. Like, there is an argument for me that Ben White does start, but I think, honestly, but without Ben White playing, I think England will do just fine. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything, but I'm just saying I think there's enough quality in that team where I think without Ben White, England will do just fine. Now, of course, we saw another news, which is Saka has pulled out, and I think this news has come out of the blue. I'll be honest, I was hoping some of the players do pull out, but for me, I'll be honest, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised a bit when Saka has pulled out. Apparently, it's just precaution. Now, hopefully, it's just precaution and nothing more, because we need a Saka, man. This guy is going to be a crucial player, and when you look at the games that we have coming up, an intense running, we need to keep our players fit, and Saka is one of our key players that we need to keep fit. For me, honestly, these useless friendlies, man, they're absolutely nonsense. I don't see why Arsenal don't pull out the players more often, man. You see Manchester City pulling out Haaland every week. Manchester City pull out another player of these friendlies, so I don't see why Arsenal don't do the same. Maybe the players want to play for the national team, fair enough. If they do want to play for the national team, you can't really stop them, but these friendlies, absolute useless games. I mean, and some of our players as well, the likes of Declan Rice, Saka, Gareth Southgate is going to use these two players like a bar of soap here. So honestly, we cannot have these two players injured. So for me, if I was Arsenal and Arteta, I would pull out these players out of these friendly games, because they are completely useless, absolutely useless. These friendly games should be for the players who, like the Kobe Mainus, the Cole Palmers, players who are coming in, trying to make a name for themselves on the international stage. These are the games that these players should be, not for the established Declan Rices, the Sakas. Give these guys a rest, man. And yeah, man, of course the guy Southgate's not going to care. For him, it's just about England, and I don't blame him. But for me, I think Arsenal should pull out more players. all I hope, I think on the top of my head, I'm looking at the players who have gone on international break is Declan Rice now, and Kai Havertz, and I believe it's William Saliba. I don't think I don't think many other players went on the international break. But yeah, look, it's going to be important that we don't get any injuries. We hope our key players do come back fit from the international break. But yeah, man, that was just my thoughts on this whole Ben White situation. I think just blown way out of proportion. I think the media I think it's international break. The media, it was getting a bit quiet. They needed to focus on something, and clearly, unfortunately, their target was Ben White, who was just absolutely abused by the media. Like, honestly, who cares what Ben White does, man? Honestly, like, I don't see what the problem is with the English media acting like he's been called up for war or something, man. Just relax, man. He's a friendly, yeah. Ben White's gonna get plenty of chances. If not this time, he's gonna get called up in the Euros. I'm sure he'll get called up in the Euros, but of course, we don't know what's happening with their assistant manager if something does resolve. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole situation. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you wish that Ben White... Do you think Ben White's making a potential mistake by not going up and playing for England? Or do you think he's making the right decision? Maybe as an Arsenal fan, you stand with this decision that you don't want him to get injured. And for me, look, I'm a fan of him getting pulled out. I really don't care. But yeah, man, that's the end of today's video. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, and I'll catch you guys next.